evening, and I was out earlier today for a very nice afternoon tea. I actually snapped some pictures and videos to add into this video to show you guys, sort of like a mini vlog. So it was really nice. It was at the Ritz-Carlton, Singapore, and so we had I think first we were served this jasmine sparkling tea, and then we had the scones. We were served two types of scones, one with raisins and the other just plain scones. It was really good with strawberry jam and clotted cream. Oh my god, so good. And then for the savories I pulled up the afternoon tea menu because I can't remember what are the names of the things we had. For the savories we had Wagyu beef pastrami with cream cheese and carrot, and then we had the truffle egg mayonnaise with the smoked heirloom tomato, cucumber and cheese. The sandwich was very good. And we had the salmon and fish roll with some sauce, I'm not sure what sauce. And then we had the fig tartlet with brie cheese and pecan. And desserts, my favorite, we had this pear brownie with milk chocolate cream, coconut panna cotta crumble with red bean, pecan cake with chocolate cream, and we had some chocolate raspberry cream dessert. And they also gave us a refreshment with mango yuzu sorbet and with mango pomelo salsa. I didn't quite like it. It was a bit sour. Sour, yes. And to finish it off, they also gave us chocolate praline and cookies, which we couldn't finish because it was already so much of food. So we brought back the chocolate cookies and chocolate pralines too. I don't know, probably eat tomorrow, I guess. So yeah, that was a nice afternoon tea. I really enjoy afternoon tea. So now we are just back home. It's a very nice chill evening, not too hot and not too cold. And so I thought I'll film another video. I have this is another horror video, of course. I have been researching folklore stories around the world. I picked out 4 stories to share today. So these stories are based on my research, based on what I found online, and I'm not saying these are 100% accurate because I'm not sure myself. I found different variations of these stories, of this legend, so I'm not sure which is the correct one. If there are any mistakes, I want to apologize in advance. This video is purely for entertainment, so I'm not saying this is 100% accurate. So this is just based on the research that I did online. Okay, and so we have 4 stories. First one will be Banshee, an Irish folklore, and then we have the White Lady from the Philippines, and the third one, Gumiho from Korea. And the fourth, we have the Noppera-bō or Noppera-bō. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. Okay, this one is from Japan. So I found these folklores to be really interesting, creepy, spooky, everything. I also have an older video. I did 2 stories, La Llorona and Bloody Mary. It's an older video. I will link it down below. You can't see my face in the video because I have the mic blocking my face. Those were the times I was too shy to show my face on the camera. So yeah, but the stories are nice. So if you want, you can go and check that video out. So I think I've spoken too much already. Let's get on with our folklore stories, okay? Okay, so I've actually written down so I can read, of course I don't have these stories memorized, so I actually took, based on my research, I took the information that is relevant and stories and different kind of legends regarding these folklore. So I am going to be reading off my laptop. Okay, so story number 1, Banshee from Ireland. Okay. In Ireland, the Banshee is a well-known figure in local folklore, a spectral figure whose mournful wail is said to foretell death. She is often depicted as a woman with long, flowing hair, dressed in a tattered grey or white cloak. Her eyes are red from centuries of weeping, and she combs her hair with a silver comb. According to legend, the Banshee appears to families of pure Irish descent, her cries echoing through the night to warn them of impending doom. So, one story I found, it tells of a family living in a remote village. One night, the eldest daughter heard a piercing cry outside her window. She looked out and saw a figure with long, flowing hair and a pale, ghostly complexion. The figure was combing her hair with a silver comb and wailing mournfully. The daughter was terrified and ran to tell her family. The next morning, they received news that a relative had passed away during the night. The family realized that the Banshee's cry had been a warning of the impending death. In another tale that I found, a young man was walking home late at night when he heard a woman crying. He followed the sound and found an old woman sitting by the side of the road, weeping and combing her hair. He asked her what was wrong, but she did not respond. Instead, she looked up at him with her red, tear-streaked eyes and let out a wail that chilled him to the bone. The young man ran home, and the next day he learned that his grandfather had died in his sleep. The Banshee's cry had once again foretold a death in their family. So the Banshee's appearance varies in different stories. Sometimes she is seen as a beautiful young woman with flowing hair and a gentle demeanor, while other times she may take on the form of an old crone, her face twisted in sorrow, her hair disheveled, and her cry more anguished and piercing. Regardless of her form, her purpose remains the same: to herald stands at a distance, often near a stream or under a large ancient tree, and begins to wail. Her cry is unlike anything heard in the natural world, high-pitched, sorrowful, and filled with an otherworldly grief that pierces the soul. It is said that her wail can be heard for miles, echoing through the valleys and across the moors. The sound fills those who hear it with a deep, inexplicable sadness, as if they are sharing in her eternal mourning. The Banshee's cry serves as a warning to the family, giving them time to prepare for the inevitable. It is both a blessing and a curse. While the Banshee's appearance is terrifying, it also allows the family to gather, to say their goodbyes, and to come to terms with the loss before it happens. In this way, the Banshee's role is not purely malevolent. She is a guide, helping the living to transition from one chapter of life to the next. Despite her fearsome reputation, the Banshee is not a bringer of death, but a messenger. She does not cause the death she foretells. Rather, she mourns in advance, her cries serving as a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Her presence is a reminder of the inevitable, the inescapable reality that death comes for all, regardless of status or wealth. In some parts of Ireland, the Banshee is even seen as a protector of her family, ensuring that they are prepared for the passing of a loved one. In these tales, she is not a figure to be feared, but rather one to be respected, sort of like a guardian of the family, guiding them through the darkest of times. The Banshee's legend endures in the Irish culture, a symbol of the deep connection between the living and the dead, and the belief that the spirits of our ancestors continue to watch over us even in the darkest of times. To hear the Banshee's cry is to be touched by the other world, to be reminded that life is fleeting and that we are all bound by the same fate. I think the Banshee's story is both haunting and really sad, because it's very interesting to see how different cultures view death. And the most interesting part that really gets me is like the idea of hearing her wail in the middle of the night. That's scary, but also imagine the dread that will fill your heart knowing that someone you love is going to pass away. I don't quite like it, so I don't know, it's both sad and creepy and haunting for me. Yeah. Okay. But it's really interesting too. Okay. I hope you liked that one. Now we have the White Lady from Philippines. Okay. The White Lady is a ghostly figure in Philippine folklore, often associated with tragic love stories and untimely deaths. One of the most famous tales is that of the White Lady of Balete Drive in Quezon City. I think it's pronounced Quezon City. I'm not too sure. So, according to legend, she was a young woman who died in a car accident backlight or suddenly appearing in their rear view mirrors. She is said to have a sorrowful expression, and some believe she is seeking justice or closure for her untimely death. Motorists traveling along Balete Drive at night are often warned to be cautious, especially if they are driving alone. There are countless stories of drivers who have encountered the White Lady while driving down this haunted road. In some tales, she suddenly appears in the backseat of a car, seen through the rearview mirror, her face hidden by her hair. In others, she stands in the middle of the road, forcing drivers to stop, only to disappear as they get out of the car to check. Those who have encountered the White Lady describe the experience as chilling. She does not speak or move aggressively, but her presence is enough to fill even the bravest with dread. It is said that if you see her, you should not look directly into her eyes or try to speak to her. Instead, you should keep driving and avoid stopping, no matter how scared you might be. One such story tells of a taxi driver who picked up a young woman in a white dress late at night. She asked to be taken to a nearby address, but when they arrived, she had disappeared from the back seat. The driver was confused and went to the house to ask if anyone knew the woman. The residents told him that a young woman matching her description had died in a car accident on Balete Drive many years ago. In another tale, a group of friends was driving down Balete Drive late at night when they saw a woman in a white dress standing by the side of the road. They stopped to offer her a ride, but as she got into the car, they noticed that her face was pale and her eyes were filled with sorrow. As they drove, she told them her story. She had been in love with a man who had promised to marry her, but he had betrayed her and left her heartbroken. She had died in a car accident on Balete Drive while trying to escape her pain. The friends listened in silence, but when they reached her destination, she vanished into thin air. They realized that they had encountered the White Lady and that her spirit was still seeking closure for her tragic death. The White Lady's story is a reflection of the deep cultural beliefs in the Philippines about spirits and the afterlife. Many believe that the souls of those who died tragically or with unresolved issues remain in the mortal world, unable to find peace. The White Lady is seen as a symbol of this belief, a restless spirit wandering the roads in search of justice or closure. There are also many other variations of the White Lady legend throughout the Philippines, each with its own unique twist. In some stories, she is a bride who died on her wedding day, her spirit forever trapped in her wedding dress. In others, she is a mother searching for her lost child, her cries echoing through the night. Despite these differences, the core elements of the story remain the same: a tragic death, a restless spirit, and a haunting presence that lingers in the mortal world. This legend has been passed down through generations generations, becoming a part of the cultural fabric of the Philippines. This story has been adapted into books, movies, and shows, often portrayed as a cautionary tale about the dangers of betrayal and the consequences of unresolved grief. Despite these adaptations, the core elements of the story remain the same: a ghostly woman whose presence is a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of love and loss. This tale gives me the chills, and I find it a little similar to La Llorona. There's just something so unsettling about, encountering a ghostly figure while driving late at night. It's just so creepy, and it makes you wonder, like, the places that we pass by every day or every night. It makes you wonder what stories or what are the things that happen there, or what sort of tragedies might have taken place and what spirits linger. It's a spooky thought. Let's move on to the third one, Gumiho from Korea. The Gumiho is a mythical creature from Korean folklore, known for its ability to transform into a beautiful woman. Unlike its Chinese and Japanese counterparts, the Gumiho is often portrayed as malevolent, luring men to their doom. The Gumiho is originally a fox, specifically a 9-tailed fox, which is a significant detail in its legend. These foxes are believed to have lived for 1,000 years, gaining the ability to shapeshift into a human form. In one popular tale, a young scholar encounters a stunning woman in the forest. She invites him to her home, where he is treated to a lavish feast. However, as the night progresses, he begins to notice strange things about his host. Her eyes gleam with an unnatural light, and her smile seems too wide. When he discovers her true identity as a Gumiho, he narrowly escapes with his life. The Gumiho's true form, a fox with 9 tails, is often revealed in moments of vulnerability or anger. In some other stories, the Gumiho must consume human hearts or livers to maintain its human form. One tale tells of a Gumiho who fell in love with a young man and wanted to become human to be with him. She decided to abstain from consuming human flesh for 1,000 days, hoping that her love and good deeds would transform her into a human. She helped the villagers with their chores, healed the sick, and protected them from harm. However, as the days passed, she struggled with her hunger and the temptation to revert to her old ways. On the final day, she was discovered by a group of people who discovered her true identity. Despite her efforts to protect the villagers, she was killed and her spirit ascended to the heavens. The villagers mourned her loss and remembered her as a kind and selfless being who had tried to change her fate. In another such story, a Gumiho disguises herself as a young woman and marries a human man. She lives with him for many years, bearing children and becoming a beloved member of the community. However, her true nature is eventually versions of the legend, the Gumiho's transformation is not limited to her physical appearance. She is also capable of manipulating her environment, creating illusions to deceive her prey. This ability makes her a formidable and unpredictable adversary, adding an element of suspense and danger to her story. The Gumiho's cunning and resourcefulness are key traits that define her character, making her both feared and admired in Korean folklore. This legend has also been influenced by cultural exchanges with neighboring countries, particularly China and Japan. The Chinese Holy Jing and the Japanese Kitsune share many similarities with the Gumiho, including their shape-shifting abilities and their association with foxes. These cross-cultural connections have enriched the Gumiho story, adding layers of complexity and depth to her character. Despite her fearsome reputation, the Gumiho is also not always portrayed as a villain. In some stories, she is a protector of the innocent, using her powers to defend the weak and punish the wicked. This aspect of her character reflects the belief that even the most dangerous creatures can possess a sense of justice and compassion. The Gumiho's dual nature makes her a compelling and multifaceted figure, capable of both great cruelty and profound kindness. But the Gumiho's legend has also evolved much more over time, with modern interpretations often portraying her in a more sympathetic light, such as in contemporary Korean dramas and literature. The Gumiho is often depicted as a tragic figure, struggling to overcome her nature and live a normal life. These stories explore themes of identity, transformation, and the possibility of redemption, resonating with audiences who see the Gumiho as a symbol of the human struggle to reconcile conflicting desires and impulses. This legend is interesting because this Gumiho, I think, is a very captivating figure, because I feel that it's much more than a monster. It's a creature struggling to live with its nature. I think it's a story that is both frightening and tragic at the same time, because it makes us question the line between human and a beast, I feel, right? I find the idea of transformation here really interesting because of how the Gumiho tries to balance the human desires with her darker sort of instincts, Very interesting. Okay, I hope you're enjoying these folklore stories. The last one for today is the Noppera-bō or Noppera-bī. I am not sure. I'm going to pronounce it as Noppera-bō. I'm sorry if I'm incorrect. Okay. This is from Japan. Okay. The Noppera-bō, or faceless ghost, is a creature from Japanese folklore that appears as an ordinary human but can make its facial features disappear, leaving a blank, smooth surface where its face should be. One famous story involves a fisherman who encounters a Noppera-bō at a koi pond. Despite warnings from his friends, he goes fishing there late at night. As he sits by the water, a beautiful woman approaches him. She asks him what he is doing, and when he explains, she suddenly wipes her face, revealing a blank, featureless visage. Fleeing home in terror, he sees who at first looks like his wife. As the wife is scolding the man, she too wipes her face off. In another tale, a merchant traveling through the countryside stops at a roadside inn for the night. The innkeeper and his wife are friendly and welcoming, but as the night progresses, the merchant begins to feel uneasy. He notices that the other guests are strangely silent and avoid making eye contact. When he goes to his room, he finds a note warning him to leave immediately. As he tries to sneak out, he encounters the innkeeper's wife, who smiles at him before wiping her face to reveal a blank, featureless surface. The merchant runs out of the inn and doesn't stop until he reaches the next village. There he learns that the inn is known to be haunted by Noppera-bō, who lure travelers in and scare them away with their faceless visages. The Noppera-bō's ability to erase its facial features is a source of great fear and fascination in Japanese folklore. This unsettling transformation challenges the very notion of identity, leaving those who encounter the Noppera-bō questioning their own perceptions and reality. The faceless, ghostless, blank visage is a powerful symbol of the unknown, evoking a deep sense of unease and dread. In some stories, the Noppera-bō is not inherently malevolent but rather a mischievous spirit that enjoys playing pranks on unsuspecting humans. These tales often involve the Noppera-bō appearing in mundane settings, such as a marketplace or a busy street, and revealing its faceless form to cause panic and confusion. The Noppera-bō's antics are a reminder of the thin line between the ordinary and the extraordinary, and the potential for the supernatural to intrude upon everyday life. In some other versions of the legend, the Noppera-bō is said to be a shape-shifting creature that can take on the appearance of anyone it encounters. This ability adds an extra layer of complexity to its character, as it can use its powers to deceive and manipulate those around it. The Noppera-bō's shape-shifting abilities make it a versatile and unpredictable adversary capable of creating elaborate illusions to achieve its goals. And this legend has been passed down through generations, becoming a staple of Japanese ghost stories and urban legends. Its eerie presence has been depicted in various forms of media, from traditional woodblock prints to modern horror films. The Noppera-bō's ability to blend in with its surrounding and strike fear into the hearts of those who encounter it makes it a compelling and enduring figure in Japanese folklore. I like this one because this story is a very good example of how something so simple can be extremely terrifying. You know what I mean? There is no violence or chasing, just the horror of something that shouldn't exist, a faceless ghost. It makes you wonder, I don't know, how would you react if you see something that defies all logics? I think this is a very good legend, the faceless story of, it's a perfect legend of the eerie and the unexplained together. Yeah, I like this one. So yeah. Okay, we guys know of any other folklores that are creepy or interesting that I can research on and probably make another video about it. I really like these folklore legends. They're so interesting and spooky and creepy at the same time. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good night or a good day wherever you guys are, and I will see you in my next video.